Hello students, today we will discuss about critical appreciation of an answer. Of an answer पोइट्री है जो कि अदा कैम्ब्रिज ने लिखी है. ओके. Whereas Patterson gave Australian literature the image of the Australian man, it was Ada Cambridge who projected the humiliation suffered by Australian women, asserted the women's efforts to liberate themselves from the masculine domination. Her second book of poem, Unspoken Thoughts, exhibits Cambridge's intricate handling of feminist issues. Even 70 years before feminism and women's liberation movement appeared in Europe and America in 1960s, women's causes were championed by Cambridge in her poems. The final poem, entitled An Answer in Unspoken Thoughts, articulates women's liberation from bondage under male domination. In the poem, she raises her voice against male-dominated society. In male-dominated society, a woman, after becoming someone's wife, has to lead a life of bondage. She lost the freedom of her thoughts. Her emotions are trampled by man who has tyrannical and selfish attitude for women. Man considers a woman a physical object. Her place in the eyes of man is no better than sexual worker. On every night she is crushed on the bed. For man there is no importance of her feelings. Woman aspires for a true union of love based on spiritual feelings, and how in order to sustain her life, a woman has to depend on man. First point है इसका thought content. Okay. In the poem, she disapproves physical marriage. She does not like the idea of being wife of someone. She condemns traditional marriage system, the purpose of which is to depend upon man for sustaining her livelihood. She has to pass a life of prisoner under the custody of man, who regards her as the source of the sexual gratification and the breeder of children. In order to fulfill his personal need, man spends money on women. He expects that his wife, after beautifying herself, should make his every night pleasureful. Man remains after sexual hunger without care her feelings. The poetess shows her unwillingness for being someone's wife. She does not want to become victim of her pathetic condition. She does not like to bear the mark of bondage. She expects a liberated life. She does not like the idea that someone should be the master of her soul and body. She is not in the favor of leading a fettered life. She is very well aware of the fact that it would be very difficult for her to get freedom from this solid traditional system of marriage. Next again, the purpose of Australian feminist movement. The poetess exclaims against the smothering shame and inward torment of reproach induced by each night's enforced suffering. In her opinion, there is as much apparent soul in the matches as in the promiscuity of the lower animals. The true meaning of the Australian woman's movement was to achieve recognition that men were human beings rather than child producers and the satisfiers of distorted primal appetite. Next, handling double standards of morals. The poetess describes the double standard of morals for the two sexes that turns upon her raging appetite, where she looks for scared aspiration, the knowledge that love has disappeared with the honeymoon, the chilling assurance that her function is certainly not to be comrade and helpmate, enforced maternity that turns the crown and glory of womanhood into a degradation that crushes the mother and delights the child. In Australia, like industrial, the sexual labor of wives and mothers was labor and could be considered in the same light. Such a decision became possible from consideration of the alternatives to marriage and compulsory maternity. Next is form, style and language. The poem has been written in sonnet form. It is a 14 lines poem. Commonly about love, the rhyming scheme is A, B, B, C, A, B, B, C, A, B, A, B, C, C. There is a great simplicity of the words used by the poetess. She has also used some impressive phrases. She has used the figure of speech. She is very well aware of the fact that it would be very difficult for her to get freedom from this hollow traditional system of marriage. She asked her lover to have real and genuine feelings of love for each other. She does not become a wife of someone. She may turn to another man and she may lead her life in her way. At one occasion, the poetess talks about the genuine and spiritual feelings of love. She asks her lover to have true faith in love. She also assures him to cling to be true love. But she suddenly changes her views about love. She says that she knows well that he has an intense love for her and he has never been hesitant to express true love for her, and she has also loved him intensely. She has tried her best to maintain true and genuine feelings of love for him. She has been attached with him emotionally for a long time. She wishes to love him forever with the same enthusiasm and feelings. She would like to love him until she is alive. Then she says that if she remains free and does not accept the bondage of marriage, she may dare to turn another man who may be worthier and more handsome than he. He may also find some suitable mate, and in this way he would be free to transfer her feelings of love. In the case of not being his wife, both of them can choose their own ways. According to Weems, some are stable whereas some are unstable in their lives. Those who pass a romantic and passionate life are swayed soon and they are soon tired of their mates and shift their hearts to another place. But those who remain satisfied with their present mate do not change their partner. If they choose their separate ways, they would be free to kiss and part with each other. Her place in the eyes of man is no better than sexual worker. On every night she is crushed on the bed. For men there is no importance of her feelings. Woman aspires for a true union of love based on spiritual feelings. Anyhow, in order to sustain her life, a woman has to depend on man. In the poem, she disapproved physical marriage. She does not like the idea of being wife of someone. She condemns traditional marriage system, the purpose of which is to depend upon man. For sustaining her livelihood, she has to pass a life of prisoner under the custody of man, who regards her as the source of the sexual gratification and the breeder of children. In order to fulfill his personal need, man spends money on women. He expects that his wife, after beautifying herself, should make his every night pleasurable. Man remains after sexual hunger without care her feelings.